the Falcons' Nest, it's time for the Section 5A semifinal in girls lacrosse here on CCX. As the Wayzata Trojans visit the Robbinsdale Armstrong Falcons in a 2-3 matchup in Section 5A, and what should be a dandy of a game for the right to take on the top seed, Benilde St. Margaret's, in the Section Final. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Hupp alongside my broadcast partner, Dan Ficken. And Dan, the first game between these two teams technically ended with Robbinsdale Armstrong earning a 12-9 victory over Wayzata.
Yep.
But what most people don't know, if you weren't there, is the game was called with 6.5 minutes to play because of tornadic activity in the area. No such issues today on this sunshiny day here in Robbinsdale, and so it sets up for what should be a really interesting and competitive game of lacrosse. As you see, partly cloudy, 75 degrees with barely a hint of wind here. It's a beautiful day for lacrosse.
Well, both these teams are as interesting. Started out very well, 5-0 and 9-0, and then all of a sudden they're not winning as many games. Wayzata are 5-4 in their last 9, and the Robbinsdale Armstrong is 3-5 in their last 8 games. So this is kind of a test situation for them. Now, Wayzata, I believe, already got off the schneid in the section with a win against Breck, 18-5. But this is going to be a tight match to see who's going to get their composure again and get their balance and get ready to play section lacrosse.
No question about it. And as you mentioned, Robbinsdale Armstrong started the season 9-0. As we take a look at the Section 5A girls bracket, and you see there Benilde St. Margaret's down to Blake this afternoon, earlier today, by a final of 12-8. So the final will be on Wednesday, June 8th at 4:30 p.m. at the home of the Red Knights. Easy, comfortable victories, as you said. Wayzata destroying Breck, and Armstrong handling Spring Lake Park quite easily as well to get here. But Armstrong started the season 9-0.
Yeah.
They won their first 9 games before dropping 3 of their last 4, but they got off the schneid back in the section play, and actually their last victory of the 9-game winning streak to start the season was against these Wayzata Trojans. So certainly both coaches feel like it'll be which team makes less mistakes, right, and which team comes out more focused. But how do you think each team is going to approach tonight's game?
Well, I'd say they both can score goals. They average, Wayzata averages 13 goals a game, Armstrong 14 goals a game. So what are you going to do? Well, you got to win the ground ball wars, etc. on the bottom. Shut down the shots, keep them to the outside so they're easy to see. If you get your lower, shot against percentage down, that's in your favor. So I'd say, who's going to play better defense?
I would agree. Wayzata brings a couple really strong senior midfielders in Julia Lindahl and Ava Score, both 50-goal scorers. For the aptly named Ava Score, 50 goals, and for Lindahl, 53 coming in to go along with 22 assists apiece. But, yeah, a lot of prolific offense at the top of this Wayzata lineup.
Well, those two you mentioned, they average 5 points a game. 5 points a game over a 14-game thing. The one thing they do is that they shoot. They're not afraid to shoot the ball, so they just let it go, and they get in good positions, and that's kind of been their secret. They take a lot of good shots.
Meanwhile, Robbinsdale Armstrong has 3 college commits of their own, and they're led by Jenna Heyman with 30 goals and 30 assists, and Sydney Smith, both of them Concordia St. Paul commits.
Yeah.
Sydney Smith with 39 goals and 4 assists, so certainly Robbinsdale Armstrong can put the ball in the back of the net as well.
Well, each of them score 30 goals. I mean, that's 100 goals right there, just between the 3 of them. You'll love watching Heyman. She just is exciting. She's aggressive. She goes after it. She's kind of a gritty go-get-it player. Sydney Smith, a little more smooth and polished. Again, they like to shoot the ball, though, and that's been the big deal with them. And so as they aren't as prolific as the top 2 Wayzata scorers, yet I think they play a little better defense.
Yeah, and I think the scoring, at least in terms of the balance, is more top-heavy with Wayzata and a little more balanced with Robbinsdale Armstrong. Sets up for what should be a really fascinating matchup between these two teams. 2 coaches are good friends, but they'll set aside their friendship for the next 60 minutes. Coming up next here, it's the Section 5A semifinal between Wayzata and Robbinsdale Armstrong on CCX. Back here at the Bird's Nest, Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken for Wayzata and Armstrong here on this gorgeous 6-6-22. The Section 5A Girls Lacrosse Semifinal number 2. Benilde St. Margaret already advanced to the final courtesy of a 12-8 victory over Blake. As you see Armstrong there in the white jerseys with blue trim, lettering, red lettering, and numerals. And Wayzata in the blue with the white lettering, gold trim. As Monica Kidd, or Madison Kidd rather, is the head coach of Wayzata. She's got her team hyped up and ready to go. Trojans come in with a record of 10-4 on the season. Meanwhile, Kari Torgerson fires up her squad, 11-3 on the season coming in. And we expect a real nip and tuck affair today.
This will be a close game. I mean, in a way, too, these teams have been rivals over a number of years in a number of different conference and section scenarios. But this should be a really good game. Should be a fast-paced game, too, as well, Bill.
And very often, who wins the draw controls, that'll be the difference as you take a look at Lydia College, 11-3 on the season, a 5.88 goals against average, and a 50.9 save percentage for the sophomore. And in between the pipes on the other end is Delaney Ganas, the sophomore goaltender for Wayzata. Falcons and the Trojans, as you see Ganas, that gold helmet glittering in the sunshine.
She doesn't have a real good save percentage, but her goals against average is really good. She makes the saves when she has to make the saves. So we'll be watching for that with her, see how clutch she is today.
Ava Score and Claire Sondrel to do battle, and it's won by Robbinsdale Armstrong. They'll jog it into the offensive zone with Sydney Smith. Smith gets to the front of the net, shoots and scores! 15 seconds into this first half. Sydney Smith gets Robbinsdale Armstrong on the board first.
Never saw a net she wouldn't turn down for a shot, by gosh. That's exactly what she did. She made a nice move, kind of adjusted her speed up and down a few times, moved in. Now she gets right in the slot and just gets in front and picks a corner and puts it away. That was fearless, man. She went right down the guts on that one.
The senior midfielder, goal number 40 of the season. 17 seconds officially into this one as she turns and laughs with Katie Sikorsky, as they will do battle for the draw control. 1-0, 17 seconds into this first quarter, or first half, I should say, as it's popped up in the air and won momentarily by Wayzata and then scooped up by Robbinsdale Armstrong. Back come the Falcons, and this time they'll settle it behind at X. Aaron Poloni, 31 goals and 15 assists. Had a goal and an assist against Wayzata in their first matchup. Bounce shot, they score! And it's Smith again. A great feed out in front. Smith faked high, went low. She's got 41 on the season and 2 this afternoon.
Excuse me, guys. Are you ready to play? I'm ready to play. Are you ready to play? I am. I'm really liking this. They're giving me the ball, and I'm shooting, and I'm putting it in the net. Beautiful play there. They came out on the left side of the net, or the right side, and cleared out. You see there, and then it came back across, and they found a seam with everybody had their back to the to Smith on there, and she got a nice pass out back from the X back there, and just buried it. Really nice play.
And that assist for Jenna Haben, 31 on the season now for her. So Armstrong out to a quick 2-goal lead. Less than a minute into this first half of play. Keep saying quarters, I mean halves.
They got to make rules the same for both boys and girls, bro. It can get confusing.
Ava Schneider with it in her stick. Oh, very helpful talking to the refs and getting a real clear understanding of the rules before. Mm-hmm. And this time Wayzata just tries to settle down. It's in the stick of Ava Score. 50 goals and 22 helpers on the season for her. Tries to feed Julia Lindahl. You know we'll be calling Sikorsky, Lindahl, and Score all day. Foul committed there by Ainsley Ducharme.
That was really a nice setup. You could see how well those three work together. And now we'll get her.
So Lindahl, the senior midfielder, will have shooting space at the 8-meter mark. She moves in, shoots right into the stick of Lydia College.
Boy, nice save by College. Held her ground good, knew how to use that basket well, and got it to the right spot.
College, just a sophomore.
She looks like a sophomore. She's small.
Trying to clear. Really got to let the ground ball play out before you can say much, as Gabby Mickelberg has it turned over to Ava Score. More physical than you might think for the teams generally not wearing pads, but the foul is committed. And so Score.
Well, they're getting set. Armstrong, when they lose the ball, they get into kind of a double team quickly on the person who got the ball, hopefully stifle it before it gets started. It's been successful.
Score finds the back of the net to cut the lead in half, just weaving her way past the likes of Saran Deringer. And she ripped it past College for the first goal of the game for Wayzata.
That'd be the 51st for that young lady there. Seems pretty typical. She'd be one of those three that got them going here. Nice move there to the side. Once they got off the sideline, they moved it really well. Basically 2 passes, and then Score had it and just ripped a good shot.
Lacrosse, obviously a game of runs, so Ava Score, the senior midfielder. Interesting talking to Madison Kidd before the game, because players like Score and Lindahl could go and play, and they might play club in college, but they've chosen their college based on the academics first and foremost, which is smart. Sikorsky gets it middle for Score. Defense wisely backing up, giving Score some space. Lindahl, or rather this is Evie Marks. This is Lindahl, who backs it out. It's a cutter, and they score and tie it up.
Well, I don't know if College got confused there, but it looked like she caught going in the wrong direction, anticipating a shot there.
The freshman Ava Schneider credited with the goal. Eva Schneider, 7th of the season, 10th point of her freshman campaign. And all of a sudden, Wayzata has tied us at 2.
Well, we knew that those 2 goals by Armstrong weren't going to be the final say. A little screen there. I think she was surprised that Schneider took the shot there. She was defended pretty well, but she got her stick in a good position with the defender stick on the other side and just let it rip over the shoulder. So maybe a partial screen.
How important, Dan, is that off-ball movement in lacrosse?
Oh.
So important.
Nothing happens without it.
That off-ball movement makes everything harder to defend, and Wayzata starting to win those draw controls as Lindahl wins it, or Score gets it to Lindahl. Tries to feed it on the doorstep. Instead, it's tracked down by Marks.
You think maybe that defeat by Armstrong is grating on him a little bit there, Bill?
You would think, but not the way they started.
No.
But certainly Wayzata has responded strongly, and it's what we expected. Fed out front looking for Lindahl. Goes all the way to the stick of an Armstrong player. Loose on the deck. Still no possession, and finally scooped up by Sikorsky. This is a player you want to have the ball in her stick. An attacker slash midfielder and a junior. Ducks inside, gets to the front, and her stick was lifted, I think, as she shot that. She goes tumbling to the deck.
She made a nice move there out of the left-hand side, them coming across there.
Yeah, sometimes you can use a defender's aggressiveness against them.
Yep.
Eleanor Swanson behind net.
This possession was also created by a ground ball win down here on the far side, or on the near foot sideline.
Yeah, those 50-50 balls become so important, especially the longer the game goes. Sikorsky Spins inside and scores. Beautiful move by Katie Sikorsky. Goal number 39 of the season.
Well, you stopped me once. Give it another try here. See if you can do it again. Nice move. Just a beautiful move coming into the guts. Katie Sikorsky. Same moves, just a quick shoulder turn and hips, got around fast and beat to the spot. She came across the crease and found her spot.
Dan, that's 3 goals in the last 2 minutes. So all of a sudden, Wayzata, who gave up the first 2 goals, have now scored 3 straight and taken their first lead of the game with 20-25 to go before half.
Well, somebody woke up the Trojans here. All of a sudden, they're playing with a lot of energy.
Well, and that's the thing, right, with lacrosse. You just have to be patient because the goals are going to come. You just have to know that you can't panic, you know?
Oh, there's been so many games when I've seen a team 9 get goals down and came back to tie it with less than a minute in the game. You know,
right.
I just switch so fast.
Absolutely. Another draw win gets in the stick of score. In transition for the Trojans. Score to the net. Bounce shot that goes wide.
Wow.
That would have been quite impressive as you take a look at Kari Torgerson on the sideline. Directing traffic for her team. And that saved by College off the shot by Kate Schwaller. College not, unlike a boys goalie, College content to stay in her crease on those clearances.
Yeah. She's holding tall, though. She made me need to step out a little bit, but she's done a pretty good job, and she's not afraid.
Schwaller not afraid either. She scores. Beautiful finish on the doorstep for the Trojans. It's 4 unanswered for Wayzata.
Somebody shut off the faucet here because it's going full bore. Boy, what a nice set of rush on another turnover. Intercepted pass.
Timeout for Robbinsdale Armstrong, and a good one at that.
Yeah.
As you see this goal in transition, great feed across and nothing College could do about that one. Schwaller all alone. 4 unanswered for Wayzata have forced Armstrong to take their first timeout and try to settle things down. And I think just in transition, they've just, on those draw controls, the unsettled situations is what's coming back to bite the Falcons.
Exactly, and they need to calm down, get some ball control, especially if they get the next draw, inbounds, whatever, because then they can do some ball control and they don't have to hurry and, wear Wayzata out in Wayzata's end rather than theirs. And just watch for the unforced turnovers. That last pass that came out was just clean to a Wayzata player.
Right, you got to get the clearances, as Madison Kidd has to be happy with how her team has responded after giving up the first 2 goals of the game. They've rattled off 4 unanswered, and they came in confident. They thought that, given the crazy circumstances of the way the regular season matchup ended, they had still plenty to prove. So she wasn't at all upset about, the circumstances and having to come on the road to play against a team. It's not a far drive anyway.
Well, it isn't like they ain't been here before,
Right, exactly.
And this is sections, too. This was when it's exciting because you know that you lose, you're done. Your season just ended. So there's a lot at stake here, a little bit more than usual, let's say, in a conference game.
Yep, no question about it. And Wayzata, and it's really been the draw controls, right? And the transition, they've just possessed well. Not a lot, and they've scored mostly off of those unsettled situations. It hasn't been those restarts.
Well, and it's been a variety. It's been a couple great efforts, individually, just getting in front of the net and scoring like Katie Sikorsky. And then we got a couple good passes here leading to, nice shots coming around on a cut. And they've done it both ways. And they're kind of getting into the flow of their game. They're feeling the rhythm, and I'm not sure the Falcons are there yet right now.
Be sure to follow us on all of the social media channels, CCX Media. And if you want to see any highlights from this game, it'll be up on our YouTube channel in a couple days after this contest is over. So catch highlights there or watch the full game if you want to relive any of the moments from this afternoon. As we are back to action, and I think it was a good timeout taken by Coach Torgerson because it was starting to get away from the Falcons.
4 unanswered? Yeah, I think so. It's the alarm bells are ringing. The red flags have been up for a while. Yeah, but it was good. So we'll see if it gets to settle down, get some settled down now, and see what they can do here. A goal right now would be astronomical for their mental outlook right now. They
scored 2. 2 in the first minute, courtesy of Sydney Smith. And have not seen much of the ball, to be honest, ever since. They kind of had that quick strike offense, Dan, and then it's mostly been in the possession of Wayzata in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yep.
Back to action here on the draw control with Score facing off against Sandro, and it's one back beautifully right to Lindahl.
That was rather clean.
Yes, that's a clean draw win. Now Lindahl's pressured by Poloni. Still maintains possession, though. Again, an unsettled situation for Wayzata. This time, Derege takes it away.
Robbinsdale right now has got a problem. They've just got tight hands. They're not holding on to the ball very well. If they just relax their hands a little bit, and they're under pressure, another, error.
Yeah, the unforced error on the clearance. I think if you just had a player or two who could carry it through traffic, you'd be set.
Well, even there, why throw it back in the middle when you got a nice avenue on the outside to get the ball out of there? But threw it back in the middle into a crowd. She could have carried it another 10, 15 yards.
Schwaller had Lindahl cutting to the net, but she didn't hit her. She just backed it out, wisely valued possession with Sikorsky behind the net. Great camera angle as Sikorsky calls out the play. Sikorsky, watch the inside roll. Gets it back out high for Marks.
You were thinking what I was thinking when I was thinking it. I was waiting for it.
Marks goes middle, uses a pick, bounce shot, scores! 5 straight for Wayzata. Evie Marks, goal number 7 of her freshman campaign.
Not a good outcome from the timeout.
Yeah, you initially won possession, but it, again, could not clear it. And Evie Marks,
just carried it. 17 right here. She's just carrying it. Nobody put a stop on her. Maybe it's time to put some double teams on those ball carriers. See if you can get them to cough the ball up before they get in for a shot. I knew I was going to see that point.
Great accuracy from the Wayzata shooters as well. So a goal from Evie Marks. And Madison Kidd, right to be smiling on the sideline. She's got to love what she's seen so far. Trojans trying to book a date in the Section 5 final against Benilde St. Margaret's.
So just got to calm their hands down a little bit. Now, this is a good opportunity for the Falcons right here. Let's move it around a little bit. Let's everybody get a touch on the ball. Let's get our hands calmed down, our minds cleared, and then set up a play.
In the possession of Heyman. And we've got a whistle and
3 seconds in the area.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Hamann will restart. 31 assists for her on the season. She gets it to Katie Poloni, or rather Claire Sandro. Fat out in front, shot. Does not get all the way through. It was Sandro who shot that. And the whistle turns it back over to Wayzata.
But great attack there. Did you see they came in together as a group and got a good opportunity there and really pressed Wayzata here and then got a good triple team to disrupt the transition breakout, and now they're back in the zone.
Just about to compliment Wayzata on how well they've cleared the ball, but they turn it over right there. Brielle Anderson feeds out in front, somehow gets it to Ellie Steinke. The St. Ben's commit, but it's turned back over to Wayzata. Lindahl has it taken away from behind. Well defended there by Sandro. Claire Sandro loping her way into the area.
She tried to switch hands there. We're going from right to left, and she lost the ball.
With that thin a pocket.
Yeah.
Now impressive speed here from Sikorsky. Sikorsky goes to the net, and College makes the save. I think you just have to change College's eye level because when it's right at her eyes, she makes the comfortable save seemingly every time.
I'd still like to see her come out of the net a little bit. Get out in front of that crease a bit. Yep. Yeah. It's not that much. Goaltending's goaltending. It's all angles. Nice clear there.
And sometimes you end up rushing the attacker as well, and they're not ready for it. to the front of the net. Big save on the other end to deny Smith. And then diving on it was Ganas.
She was making doggone sure she got control of that ball. Good play.
All the way up for Sikorsky. 15 and a half minutes to go before halftime. Wayzata, after trailing early 2-0, has scored 5 unanswered and locked down things defensively. Haven't given up a goal in about 9 minutes. Sikorsky pressured way on high, very physical defending. Flips it to Lindahl.
That was an impressive possession there, though. I tell you what, she was making sure she kept that ball.
You can see why they trust her with it in her stick behind the goal. Schneider switching hands. Gets it to Marks, already with a goal today.
It's good defense. Forced her from the 8-meter to the 12-meter arc there.
Sikorsky draws the slide, spins away from it, shoots, and College makes the stop low.
Now that was just good defense. It kept everything to the outside. Sikorsky's slippery, but they had her. They double-teamed her a couple times. Did a nice job, and College came up with a nice save.
Temple comes in to scoop it up, but the ball's still loose. Finally, a push is called, and it's Robbinsdale Armstrong ball. A lot of good communication out there.
You could see how important it was for her to come back for the ball. It gave her some momentum. She could make a move either right or left from that.
The stick of Olivia Ojala, one of the captains for this Robbinsdale Armstrong team. Shooting space. Stops it as Katie Poloni, sister of Aaron Poloni. And it turns over. I thought it was shooting space.
Yeah.
I was misled by someone in the press box.
Yeah, sir, would you please leave us alone?
I mean, it looked like it from our vantage point, but it's in the stick of Ganas. Now she tries to clear.
Boy, be careful with that. You got to make sure you got a good pass if you're going that far out of the net.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen some boys goalies go all the way to the other box this year. She's living dangerously. Score. Hasn't touched it in a while. Carries it in to the critical scoring area.
Trying to set up Sikorsky.
Yep, she lost the stick. Not the biggest attacker, but again, Wayzata forces a turnover on the clearance. So a great job of defending in the offensive zone for Wayzata, and now score settles things down for the Trojans. Sikorsky on the far side.
Now we'll see who they bust through for her. Either get her into the area or open up for a pass from her.
Watched by Carly Redelsheim. On the doorstep, Lindahl! What a shot to score! Assisted by Eleanor Swanson. Lindahl went to the deck, but ultimately got the goal, her 54th of the season.
Well, now I see why she got 50 goals. Did you see how her body was twisted when she let that stick go, let that ball go? Wow, that was absolutely great.
First goal in about 6 minutes, but you see the replay here. Draws the slide, gets it to Lindahl, avoids a couple defenders, almost a no-look shot.
Yeah.
Very impressive from Julia Lindahl. Picked out the top corner. Nothing that College could do about it.
Oh, man. That was pretty.
6-2 our score. We thought this would be a close game, but Armstrong's got to get possession and get something going offensively. Well, again, those draw controls, Dan, continue to be a factor.
Huge. Yeah, the unforced errors and the draws have really hurt the Falcons.
I did a Prior Lake game earlier this year. The Lakers, obviously one of the best teams in the state. And they would just, it was clinical how they were winning the draw.
Yeah.
And then I did another game with, I believe it was Blaine and somebody. Fed out in front. And a whistle stops play. But they had the same play where they would win it back and then send someone streaking in from the wing. The girl would drive, draw defenders, dish to the cutter behind the defense, and she'd score. Yeah. They must have scored 6 goals off that play.
Well, you look at Andover; they're doing basically the same thing too. I mean, they've got a 67%, draw winning percentage. Well, that's going to win a lot of games for you.
Yeah.
The same here. You're right, and that's really hurt the Falcons.
Brielle Anderson, the sophomore midfielder, misses on the shot. As you see, it did. Big effort coming in. Great stick by Sammy Hackley, playing like a senior defender. Armstrong can't crack the net there, but they do retain possession with Poloni.
Okay, there you go. Settle it down. Call the play.
They get organized defensively.
Let's get some movement.
To Hamann. She's got a couple cutters. You'd think they'd try to get it more to Smith. Loose on the deck in front. That shot doesn't get all the way through off the stick of Bryn Anderson. Smith tracks it down on the far side. This is better possession from Armstrong.
Really battling. Really battling.
As Wayzata had taken control of this game, leading it 6-2. A 6-0 run for the Trojans. On the doorstep, tough catch in traffic, and it's knocked away. Scooped up by Annika Lavind. And she'll be the one to try to start the clearance for Wayzata.
Yeah, I thought so.
Ganos. Watched by Poloni. Just a perfect night for high school sports tonight.
Nice pick up there. Came back for the ball. Real good by the Trojans.
Yep, good communication as Eleanor Swanson, who assisted on the last goal. Sikorsky scoops it up. Far side with 9 minutes remaining first half.
Yeah, you might as well, once Wayzata gets across the 50-yard line, you might as well start looking for Sikorsky, because that's usually where it's going to go. I'm wondering if they might
score at the top.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Score tries a little give and go. Somehow they get it connect. I don't know how Schneider caught it in traffic. It's scooped up by Marks. She feeds in front. And again, a player, I think that's Score, shoved to the deck. And now they'll try to clear through Brielle Anderson.
There we go.
Well played by Armstrong, and just as I say that, it's tracked down though by Hamann. And she gets it to Smith. Smith on a hat trick. Sydney Smith to the front. And somehow it didn't go in. Ganas rakes it away from that line.
It was rolling in toward that goal line. Great play by Sydney Smith there. She just really went after it.
Yeah, sometimes just going coast to coast is what's best. Brent Anderson looking for Hamann, who backs it out. Now Armstrong, I think, would do well just to work some clock and try to get the best shot they can manufacture.
I think, too, just getting the passes off sooner. Don't let a double team come at you. Just keep moving the ball around even without pressure, just to see if you get something to move inside in the defense.
Poloni can't feed a couple teammates, but it's collected by Anderson. On the doorstep, Ganas makes a big save. And that's what you talked about, Dan, coming out in the net, making your presence felt.
She looked really timid on that clearing pass a few minutes ago by the net, but boy, she made a great aggressive play there.
Swanson to the front, feeds Lindahl. I believe that's actually Marks, beg your pardon. She catches and then backs it out. So Wayzata couldn't make them pay in transition, but now they'll run some offense.
Well, it's kind of, if you can count, you can kind of figure out that you don't have the numbers, and they did the right thing. They pulled it back and started ball control.
Not a lot of whistles in this game, not a lot of fouls. Been pretty cleanly played as Sikorsky works her way to the front. Back inside, back to the outside rather. And got some shooting space, I believe, for Sikorsky as we take a look at this impressive save by Delaney Ganas.
Good pass going inside there, just point blank, and she had stepped out there about 4 feet right on the edge of her crease and made a nice save.
Like a butterfly, just absolutely stoned the shot from Hamann. Had the stick right in the right position and made the save. Sikorsky now inverted at the top. Wayzata very patient on offense, but not a lot. Content to make the best of this possession.
They're really spread out too.
They are indeed. Beautiful move by Schwaller.
Watch the seams, see if they get a cutter running down the seams.
Top of the key for score. Cross-face dodge. And she can't get the shot off. Deranger lost it momentarily, and then I believe they're going to call Mickelberg with a infraction. I think she came in maybe with a cross check.
There it is, right there, right in the kisser.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sikorsky took the worst of that one. So shooting space now for Sikorsky. The junior charges forward and scores. 7 unanswered for Wayzata.
Okay, I take a little stick on my schnoz, and I'll just show you what I'll do with the ball. I put it in your net.
Poor Lydia College beside herself right now. It's 7-2 Trojans, and Katie Sikorsky has 2 of them. Quick restart and just pinpoint accuracy.
That's just a good shot. Sometimes, the goalies blame themselves when nobody could have made that save. Just a good shot. Boy, she's something else. Katie Sikorsky, she really came here to play today. It isn't very big. She's got a great outside shoulder move that she uses, and she's not afraid to go into a double team.
No, and she really kind of controls, she kind of quarterbacks the offense as well for the Trojans. Just 5:17 remaining here, first half. 7-2 our score. Wayzata has rattled off 7 straight goals after giving up 2 goals within the first minute of the game. And speak of Sikorsky, she takes another foul after she helps win the draw control.
And guess who gets the ball?
Score. Gives it for Lindahl.
There we go.
Julia Lindahl, watch out. No one picks her up. Then she picks out the upper left corner.
Somebody let the howitzer loose. Oh, my gosh.
You got to slide to Julia Lindahl. No one did. Her second of the game. 8 straight for the Trojans.
Came down the center, took 1 step to her right to clear the shot, and boy, she let it go. You could see it coming. Right here, you could see it coming. She saw a lot of space between her and the net.
And you could see Deranger right there. The 2 teammates got tangled up. Deranger pointed out to Ducharme. And so a little miscommunication for Robbinsdale's defense, and all of a sudden, 2 goals in 21 seconds late here in the first half.
That they really couldn't afford to give up.
And Julia Lindahl, not a player you want to leave. You want to leave alone in front of the net.
Yeah, only scored 54 goals.
Yeah, for Lindahl, that's her 55th of the season, and it's 8-2 Wayzata. And Armstrong needs something to go right. Remember, it was 12-9 in the first game in favor of Armstrong. Wayzata looking like they want to play the Red Knights next Wednesday.
Oh, it's amazing. They still had over 6 minutes left in that game and a 3-goal differential. I think Wayzata is showing they got to wipe that out pretty doggone quick. But they've made some smart plays, not only individually, obviously with Katie Sikorsky, but Heyman's done a good job moving the ball around, setting up the plays, and it's been a variety of assist plays and individual scoring plays for Wayzata. It's been very balanced.
Shooting space now for the Falcons. Shot. Ganos makes the save. Can't hang on to it, but it's helped back into her crease. So now Wayzata tries to clear. That's partly been the difference. The draw control wins, and also how easily have the teams been able to clear. Lindahl in transition on a hat trick for Sikorsky.
No, you don't see Sikorsky.
Every 50-50 ball seems to be going Wayzata's way.
Yep.
And with 3.5 minutes left, they'll just
get
back out high.
That's an interesting stat because Armstrong came in with 57% of their ground ball wars won. Wayzata only 40%, and it's been all Wayzata today.
Yep, they've just been the quicker, hungrier team to the ball as Swanson backs it out for Schneider. Up top for score. She's had a pretty quiet game by her standards. Just as I say that, she gets a step, gives it for Lindahl. Again, tough catch in traffic. Armstrong just trying to make sure they've got their slides in order and their communication down.
They got to be nervous right now. I would almost think about it. They came around putting a double team on that person coming around the net.
Lindahl to the front. Ultimately decides to hang on to it. Wayzata team, very high IQ in terms of when to shoot, when to pass, and when to regroup and fight another day.
Yeah, she saw good defense in front of her, even one-on-one, and she just pulled it out. Very smart. They keep possession.
Swanson feeds a cutter, and College scoops up the loose ball. 2 minutes to go in the first half. And College loses it. Got to come out of that crease, and
is there a slash there?
I believe so, and I believe it's going to be shooting space for Evie Marks, as she was run into by Mickelberg.
There you go.
Marks off the restart. Good save by College to go down. And
for as little as gone right for the Falcons, College is making some good saves here now to keep them in the game, and they can build off that.
It's like a hockey goalie that goes down early and makes those stops. As you see the save here, Evie Marks, bounce shot, and College read it all the way. Good technique.
Got that body in between the net and her.
Mother the shot, yeah. So now it's in the stick of Schneider. And I would have to imagine with 1:15 thereabouts remaining before halftime, Wayzata will want to hold this for potentially a last shot. Or they'll try to shoot here as Swanson gets to the front. She takes a bump and goes down. No whistle. More physical game than you might think if you hadn't seen girls lacrosse before.
These are two rival schools, they
Right.
played against each other quite a bit, so there's probably not a lot of likeness going on.
Very much familiar with each other. Like we said, the coaches are friends. In open space, racing ahead, Sandro scores! A much-needed goal for the Falcons just before half as Claire Sandro gets her 19th of the season. The first goal since the first minute of play for Armstrong.
She found an extra gear, boy, and she really got the Jets going and just made sure that shot was there. You just see the effort she's putting in. And she kind of short-cocked that stick a little bit instead of taking a big, wide, stretch out with her stick. Yeah, she just kind of short-shot it, and it beat the goalie to the corner of the net.
That ends an 8-0 run for the Trojans.
Yeah, the Falcons needed that one.
Taking control of the game. They'd love to get another one before half. All will center on this draw control between Sandro and Score.
The funny thing is, you look at the Falcons' record, the 3 losses they had were to Centennial, Andover, and Elk River, were very good lacrosse teams.
Yeah, no, they're a competent team. They're a 2 seed in the section for a reason. They win the draw here, 23 seconds and counting with which to work. Spinning through pressure, Brielle Anderson. And we've got a whistle and an infraction. And I believe Anderson's going to have shooting space at the 8-meter mark. Brielle Anderson steps up, shoots, and goes wide.
Yeah, tough angle.
24 goals and 5 assists in her sophomore campaign, so certainly capable of it.
Well, good push here at the end, though. They did what they had to do. At least they got a goal on the board, boy, and that just is going to pick them up big time. And college made some good saves for them.
Zoe Olsen runs out the clock for Wayzata, and the Trojans head to the halftime break with an 8-3 lead. They gave up the first 2 goals of the game, but then scored 8 unanswered, and they lead at the halftime break by a score of 8-3. We'll step aside for some commercial messages, and when we come back, we'll have first half highlights and analysis here from the Falcons' Nest. This is the Section 5A semifinals on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Back here at the Bird's Nest, Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken. Wayzata leads Armstrong at halftime, 8-3. They're 1 half away from making it to the Section 5A final for a rematch against Benilde St. Margaret's. The Trojans faced Benilde earlier this year, but fell to them 15-7, is that right?
13-6.
13-6 earlier this season. That game coming up next on Wednesday at 4:30 at Benilde St. Margaret's, whoever wins here. But the 3 seed currently on top of the 2 seed. And Dan, that first half was pretty interesting. Robbinsdale Armstrong got off to a flying start. Sydney Smith, the Concordia St. Paul-bound senior midfielder, goals number 40 and 41 of the season to start things off. And within a minute, Wayzata was down by 2. But the Trojans would respond. Ava Score cracking the score sheet with her 51st of the season. And then very balanced effort. Ava Schneider getting on the board with her second. And then Katie Sikorsky really ran the show in that first half. Little inside roll for her 39th of the season. And again, just beautiful passage of play. Wayzata didn't just score in one way, they scored in multiple ways in that first half.
They're using the talents of all their players. I mean, look at that twisting shot. But a nice play coming up with that pass, getting it to her, coming down the slot. And then individual efforts, they just did them both. They dominated, period. And frankly, that goal there by Armstrong was just, well, it helped me feel a little bit about myself. It's going to get them closer, but boy, all of a sudden, Wayzata turned the tide on, and away they went.
Claire Sondrel getting one back for Robbinsdale Armstrong with less than a minute to go. So that's all. Armstrong just likes to score in the first minute of the half on either side, either a minute before half or with a minute gone by. So, but Wayzata, a couple goals for Julia Lindahl, a couple for Katie Sikorsky, goals by a whole variety of players, including Katie Schwaller. And Ava Score, as we said, started the scoring. Evie Marks, a freshman, getting on the board. So up and down the lineup, a lot of contributions for the Trojans. And we'll see what the adjustments are in the second half.
Well, yeah, you saw Sydney Smith score right away early, right? Oops. Didn't see her for the rest of the half, did you?
I can throw it to her.
Good adjustment.
Yeah.
So they shut her down.
We'll have the second half action for you in just a second here. Wayzata and Armstrong, 8-3 our score at the break. Start of the second half here in Robbinsdale at the Falcons' Nest. Good crowd on hand for both teams. Wayzata fans particularly pleased. Trojans rattled off 8 unanswered in that first half to take a commanding 8-3 lead, and two teams will flip sides of the field and do it again as the lights begin to take effect. What was a really beautiful day. First game in the regular season between these two teams ended at 12-9 with still 6.5 minutes left to play because of tornadic activity. Everyone in the stands was like, there's a tornado coming, let's end this. But not today, knock on wood.
I hope somebody didn't complain about it. That person scares me.
But ultimately the refs were like, yeah, it's 85% done. It's like baseball at the 5th inning.
Yeah.
Big draw control win for Armstrong to start the second half, and expect them to play with quite a bit of urgency, trailing by 5 goals with their season on the line.
Yeah, they need to be aggressive. They need to be aggressive both ends of the field here now. So we'll see if they start getting some cutters rolling and start moving.
Heyman behind for Poloni, really directs traffic well back there. Poloni gets to the front, and we'll have shooting space. Just a nice physical move from Poloni, using space well and knowing how to get the angle on her defender, and then she was shoved into the crease.
She forced it to the point where she drew that penalty pretty much. Now she'll see if we cash in.
And Poloni, instead of going for the goal, will back it out and keep possession. Real senior leader Poloni is, even though she's just a sophomore. Seems to have good lacrosse IQ.
She did a good job. They're pulling it back because they had 2 defenders coming right at her very quickly. She made a great decision there to pull it back.
In the stick of Sondrel, scored a really impressive goal in transition just before halftime. Ojala. Armstrong showing the patience that Wayzata did so often in that first half. Hamann.
Perfect.
Hits a cutter or tries to, but just in and out of the stick of Brielle Anderson. Still in the possession of Armstrong, but then that pass looking for Poloni, picked out by Ganas.
Good idea. Had the right play set up, just had a hard time executing.
That long outlet is very much a designed play as Eleanor Swanson with speed into the offensive zone, and she'll bring it behind the net and allow her teammates to regroup.
Boy, I guess speed, man. She ran out of there unbelievably fast.
And the stick of Katie Sikorsky, sitting on a hat trick, her and Julia Lindahl. And watching Wayzata play, you can see why those two in score are each at least 50 goals or more this season as Lindahl backs it out. She attacks once more, draws the slide. Good pass for Sikorsky, and that shot goes wide. Coverage behind by Swanson.
Good setup of the play, good use of the clock there, just kind of keeping possession of it. And the more they have the ball, the more it kind of sucks the life out of the Falcons here because they can't touch the ball.
Lindahl going to work. Very attentive is Armstrong's defense. Nice move by Score. Bounce shot, but a whistle stops play beforehand. And so I believe...
area infraction.
Yep. She'll have shooting space at the 8-meter mark. You should be able to just say, no, we'll take the goal that we just scored instead of the shooting space.
Oh, don't all coaches wish.
Score makes up for it right there with her second of the game and the first of the second half for the Trojans.
Boy, that hurts. I mean, the Falcons came out and they got the draw and they were working it around. They set up a good play, just couldn't connect for the goal, and then Wayzata gets it, loses it, gets it back, and then we see this play here. Just a beautiful shot.
Well, in college, had success going low, but couldn't get her hands quite up enough in time and score. Makes it 9-3.
That basket isn't as big as you think it is sometimes, or wish it was.
Right. So now 2 goals apiece for Lindahl, Sikorsky, and Score, the 3 big scorers for this Trojans team. Not surprisingly, they've got 6 of the Trojans' 9 goals, and Wayzata's got a 9-3 lead with just over 21 minutes to go in the game.
Well, the next 3 possessions are must possessions for the Armstrong Falcons. Yeah.
No question about it. You've got to go on a run of your own, and certainly winning possession on the draw control helps. I've been so impressed with Wayzata's clearance tonight. That one was no exception, as Score nearly got it into the critical scoring area.
And the Falcons take over possession. Oh.
That they do is Ojala. I was just about to compliment Wayzata's clearance, and then they turned it over. And now a great job by who else but Katie Sikorsky to force the turnover. Sikorsky
triple team.
Walks away from Ducharme and settles things down. She plays with the kind of pace you need.
Yep.
She knows when to speed it up and really when to put the brakes on. Well defended there by Sandro. Flips it back. Finds its way into the stick of Ducharme.
Ducharme made a nice play there. Kind of surprised to get the ball and stayed very calm with it.
Up ahead to Hamann. In the middle for Poloni. Erin Poloni trying to do it herself. Nope, she'll take it behind to X. Poloni looks and holds. 5 minutes gone by here. Second half. Only goal of the half scored by Wayzata and Ava Score. And again, now as you see coaching staff for Armstrong directing traffic with Ojala, every possession really matters at this point.
Yeah, they got to get the kids to focus and really play this out, do things right.
Brielle Anderson tries to feed Smith on the doorstep. Instead, it's cut out and a great outlet pass. And just like that, the Trojans are in transition.
Perfect.
Schwaller. And this time with the lead they have, if they can't get that initial goal, they'll just say, hey, let's just calm things down. Pass in front. Well, good backup by Evie Marks.
Armstrong got back on defense pretty quick. The numbers weren't there. They pulled it back. Wayzata did and used their head on this. Now they'll move it around and control.
Marks flips it for a score. And at what point does Armstrong have to start doubling the ball and trying to force turnovers? You don't want to panic, but it's starting to get early late. On the doorstep, scooped up by number 21 Swanson behind. Tries to feed Score and a whistle. And it's going to be shooting space for Wayzata and Ava Score. Score looking for a hat trick.
Advantage Wayzata here. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the double and the triple team should start coming here pretty quick. You've got to get aggressive to get the ball out of their hands.
Great camera angle here as Score charges forward and scores. She's got a hat trick. She's got 53 goals now this season. And Wayzata makes it 10-3.
Just dominant play and smart play, too, Bill. I mean, they're using their heads. And, you know, obviously you get in Score's hands. It's one of your better scorers. It seems weird saying score 9 times in a sentence. Have you noticed?
Yeah, we can only say pun not intended so much. Oh, A great graphic from our terrific crew here at CCX as you see Ava score, aptly named.
That's amazing.
53 goals now on the season, and what's stunning is she doesn't even lead the team. Lindahl's got 55.
Yeah.
10-3 Wayzata, 18 minutes to go. And for Armstrong, it's getting late. Sikorsky wins the draw. Poloni fouls her.
Good effort by Poloni, though. She understands the situation, so she got really aggressive, a little over.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Falcons need the ball, and they need to string together some goals.
Yeah, they need to start bringing somebody now. They're going to bring a slide here pretty quick. They should be.
And after Armstrong scored 2 goals in the first minute, the opening minute of this game, it's been a 10-1 Wayzata run to make this the 7-goal difference.
Well, you're in a make me situation now where Wayzata's just standing there and saying, make me, take a shot, make me move.
Schwaller can afford to be very patient as Sikorsky inverts to the top of that critical scoring area. Tries to split defenders, and the whistle stopped play, but that was a beautiful move by Katie Sikorsky.
I'm surprised they didn't check her stick.
She'll get shooting space instead from the 8-meter mark, and she scores. Sikorsky with a hat trick as well. Wayzata has scored the first 3 goals of this second half.
Sikorsky, free space usually means goal. That's a point. Wow. Wayzata looks just really dominant here. They look like one of the better teams in the state, although they're not rated in the top 10, but they look very, very good right now. As far as ball possession, moving the ball, how they're scoring, defense is good.
And Robbinsdale Armstrong decides to take a timeout with things beginning to slip away from the Falcons here. But Katie Sikorsky now with 41 goals and 22 assists on the season. She's got 3 tonight. Ava Score has 3 tonight. And Julia Lindahl, the senior midfielder, has 2. And if you're Madison Kidd, there was a reason she came in so confident. She must have sensed something about her team and how they were going to approach this game tonight.
Well, they had a brutal coming out of the regular season. They ended up with Breck, Edina, Blaine, and Breck.
Not easy.
Row.
Yeah, that's a tough road to hoe for sure.
Edina beat them 15-3. But, they've obviously learned something the way they're dominating right now.
Yeah, that Lake Conference is never easy when you're facing the likes of Minnetonka and Edina and the others. But certainly Wayzata with 2 goals in the last minute and a half to make it an 8-goal lead. Their largest of the night. And like we said, they've scored 11 of the last 12 goals now, Dan. And what can Robbinsdale Armstrong do to try to stem the tide and turn this momentum?
Start double teaming. I would even get the goalie involved in double teaming the X coming out back.
Just
what do you got to lose?
Speed Wayzata up a little bit.
Yeah, make them go fast and take position away from them. Block it off. And we'll see what happens here with that. It can happen. You and I have seen it, but boy, the rate they've been losing draws and ground balls, that's hurt them also very much.
Yeah, no question. And with the goalie too, when you start letting in goals, it can really spiral on you, your confidence. So assistant coaches out talking to Lydia College, trying to make sure that her frame of mind is still good. It's a goalie that came in giving up less than 6 goals a game in Wayzata. And now they're starting to get those scoring chances, those scoring space goals as well. First half it was more just opportunities in front in open play. But now they're drawing fouls in front of the net and taking advantage of those opportunities. And they're just too good to give them those kind of looks.
That's just it. A couple times you and I have talked about that's a goal, and I don't care who the goalie is, you weren't stopping that shot. And that's how well Wayzata has created their scoring opportunities here. And that college, I think, has played okay.
Boy, it's just interesting to see the huddles. Wayzata, they're over there laughing, smiling, having a great time. Robbinsdale Armstrong, much more serious and somber and trying to make sure that that their season stays alive. You need to start doing something to change the tide, and it starts right here with draw controls.
Yep. You see, Coach, she knows what's at stake here and what they got to do. The good news is there's a lot of time in the clock.
Yep. Spun to the side, and Katie Sikorsky gets there first. She is so quick off that wing to get to the ball, and anytime you can possess this much as Wayzata has, that makes you very tough to stop.
They've been amazingly able to get the ball to Katie Sikorsky, who can hold on to it and do a lot of different things.
Yeah, great stick skills and a great move there. Just that hesitation. She's got tremendous footwork to get free and avoid the onrushing attacks. A lot of hesitations, a lot of stop-start.
I think the other thing, too, she's gotten hit a few times physically, and she stood right up to it. She doesn't quit.
Yeah, she's tough.
Yeah.
Ava Score works it around. Marks. Plays catch with Score out high. Sikorsky again gets a step. This time her pass is deflected down. Claire Sondrel's had a nice game, including the goal that she scored, and she forces the turnover as College tries to start the clearance. Ducharme. Up ahead to Ojala. Now it's in the stick of Erin Poloni, who carries it low. Poloni, just a sophomore, her sister just an 8th grader. So she's got a bright future as a Falcon. Feeds a cutter, and a great save by Ganas.
Wow. Really good save. That was key. That's the best play Armstrong set up in the past 20 minutes.
Ganos was there to just disrupt it. Lindahl now in transition. Julia Lindahl tries to feed a couple teammates on the doorstep.
This is where the Armstrongs got to really roll. Somebody should be rolling down the field right now for a long clearing pass. See if you can get behind him, and that's a good pass right there. Here we go.
Hammond. Armstrong's got to go to the net, start getting shots on net. Hammond looking for cutters. Great catch in traffic, and that's going to result as we take a look at a shot that hit the post here out in front, and that's why it was saved. It hit the post so close from Isabella Gorgon. We thought it might have been saved from our vantage point, but it hit the left post, so that kind of night for Armstrong as there's inside of 14 minutes remaining in this one.
Yeah, Ganos made a nice play there being aggressive and going out, and it altered the shot, so it did hit the post, so good job by her.
In the stick of Erin Poloni. Now they turned it over. They said it was out of bounds. This is where you wish the refs were mic'd up.
I always wish the mics were in. I don't care what game it is.
Poloni steals the clearance pass, gets to the front on the doorstep, and they score. No, it's saved.
Oh my gosh, where did she come up with that?
Ganos makes a great stop on that tough, sharp angle shot. Ava Score back the other way.
Oh, and look at that. Just the stops on a dime, brings it back, settles it down. Okay, we're back to controlling the ball again. But Ganas, what a save.
Ganas made a save. It was a tight, sharp angle shot for Hammond, but credit to Delaney Ganas, the sophomore, or Ganos rather, for saving that. So now, Score can be very deliberate. Good stick in the passing lane to knock it down, though, by Ella Steinke. future St. Ben's player. And who else but Katie Sikorsky? You would never know she was up by 8 goals. The way she's fighting for the ball. And you see here, great save. Sharp angle shot, but really just right into the stick of Ganos. So just her getting over to that right post, shut down the angle, and really just made it tough.
It's not how she's coming across, it's the quickness.
Right,
with
exactly.
her body and the basket that came across. That was a remarkably good save.
Yes. Delaney Ganos.
Boy, you know, with the team, you know, that's averaging 14 goals a game, you get some goaltending like that, you going to be tough to beat.
Right. They've got a tall task up next, though, in Benilde St. Margaret's. One of the perennial state tournament contenders, top seed in this section.
Well, the Trojans understand ball control, and they're going to need to do that against BSM. Anybody who wants to beat BSM's got to do ball control, but they've done a really good job of it.
No question, as the Falcons just underneath the stick of Hamann and out of play. And it's kind of been like that all night, Dan, with their transition, trying to get from defense to offense. It's been sometimes a struggle to get set up in the critical scoring area.
It is, but they got to have fast transition because they got to score a lot of goals.
And I think that's partly been the difference is the draw controls and then also the draw controls and then also the transition opportunities.
Ooh, that was nice. That could easily turn into an unforced turnover right there on the money.
Heyman tried to feed a cutting Smith.
Boy. Defensively, the Trojans have really clogged up that middle. Anything that goes in there goes into a black hole.
Yeah, it really does. Sikorsky in front. She's got her fourth. To match her jersey number, and that's as much exuberance as we've seen from Wayzata tonight. All 4 in the second half scored by the Trojans. Katie Sikorsky in transition. Her second straight goal. Her second of the second half as well. 12-3.
I feel bad for Lydia College there, too. I mean, my gosh, she got hung out to dry here against one of the better players in the state, actually. You know, she's just done a remarkably good job, Sikorsky. She's got all the package.
Yeah, very good stick skills and good tenacity, and really seems to understand how to play the game as well. Wayzata has scored 12 of the last 13 goals in this game. They're on a 12-1 run. And midway through the second half, they have got a 9-goal lead as Score wins another draw. And Sikorsky continues to be heavily involved. Derege watching her. And she just baited her into it and then spun away.
Well, the double team was too late coming and just kind of hesitated.
She just seems to sense when she can kind of turn off. As soon as she feels that pressure, our clock's going. Apparently the stadium clock's not going. So we're about 27 seconds ahead as they're trying to catch up. Wayzata again goes to work. Lindahl feeding a cutting Score. It eventually finds its way into the stick of College. They definitely have very different clearance styles, though, as Lindahl comes away with that one. What a difference a couple weeks makes, right? Two teams played to a 12-9 game, and the defense and how much Wayzata has turned that up. Going from 12 goals allowed as Lindahl finds the back of the net. 3 Trojans now with hat tricks.
Do you think Lindahl, Score, and Sikorsky like playing together? My gosh. They know each other like the back of their hands. My gosh.
It's a 10-goal lead. Double digit. Obviously the largest lead of the night. And Lydia College, you feel for her the way she's the number of shots she's had to face tonight.
Oh, and right on top of them, too. But, I mean, these aren't just, goals from outside and stuff. I mean, they're right on top and inside.
Yeah, just nothing she can do about that when it's that close.
And just that reverse direction at Lindahl. That's twice she's come back across once she's gone across the front of the crease and scored.
So Sikorsky with 4, Lindahl with 3, Score with 3, and Wayzata with 13.
That'll kill you.
And I believe 10 goals might be the
running time
as well. Certainly not what we anticipated as Lindahl gets around Darajay, and draws the crossbody on Saron Darajay. So
Love
Lindahl, yes, Lindahl with an opportunity to get her 4th. Charges forward, goes low, and even though College got down to it, still skipped it past her for her 4th.
I was just going to comment that the last number of goals here have all been up high. No bounce shots after initially starting that in the early part of the game. And they went right back to it, and this time it worked. College is good as getting down and getting her basket down low, but she just got beat straight on that.
No question about it. Lindahl with 4. She scored the last 2 for the Trojans. And now we're into running time, as we said, with the Trojans enjoying an 11-goal lead. They've scored all 6 of the second half goals.
It looks like Wayzata can give Benilde quite a game here.
If they play like this.
Yeah.
Of course, playing like this against the Red Knights is a tall task, as we know, for this top 5 team in the state. Scooped up by Sandro. The infraction gives it to the speedster Zoe Olsen, who goes down. Haven't seen a yellow card issued tonight. Seems to be
girl.
okay.
Get right up. I like your attitude. There you go, kid.
Nothing untoward. Poloni is just an aggressive checker.
Yep.
Tried to lift the back of the stick. That got to do something to get that ball. But Wayzata will improve its record to 11-4, and Robbinsdale Armstrong will see its season more than likely come to an end at 11-4. I know you can score bunches in lacrosse, but 14-3 with 5.5 minutes left in the second half. Pretty insurmountable. On the doorstep, beautiful shot. Lindahl has 5. Great assist from who else? Katie Sikorsky.
Yeah, because Sikorsky, yeah. The driver, the head piston, the point guard, whatever. Boy, what a great shot. I mean, there's not much you can do here now as a coach when they're rolling that well. I mean, those 3 have been moving the ball between themselves. Score, Lindahl, and Sikorsky at will at night and tonight. So, boy, they look good. They look like they can make a run here.
Sikorsky has, or Lindahl rather, has a hat trick. She's got the last 3 goals, and those came in the. Those have come in the last 4 minutes. In about 3 minutes and 45 seconds, Lindahl has a second half hat trick, and 5 now on the night. You can see why she leads the team in scoring now with 58 goals on the season. Remarkable to go along with 22 assists. 80-point season, not too shabby.
Oh, yeah, I'd say. My gosh.
Another draw control, and Ava Score gets it ahead. Wayzata continues to put on the pressure. They've outscored Robbinsdale Armstrong in this second half 7-0. And they enjoy a cushiony 15-3 lead. Sandro trying to get one back. Passes it across for Gorrigan. Robbed by the post earlier in this half.
Oh, we'll see if Wayzata starts making some substitutions now and letting their starters get a rest.
Don't have a huge bench, but certainly they could get
their top 3 out of there anyway.
Yeah, they could get a couple out of there. As Score from Lindahl up ahead for Swanson. Get some bench players some playoff experience.
I think one interesting thing we saw, too, is Noss, the goalie for the Trojans, got a very poor save percentage. But boy, she looks sharp. She's made 3-4 good saves. I mean, over and above what you required to do as a goalie. And I think that's made a big difference. That's why we have running time right now.
Yeah, no question, as Schneider takes a big bump, or Schwaller rather, and she goes down.
Hold your temper. Be smart.
Well, the nice thing about the way it works in girls lacrosse is that, the foul can lead directly to a goal, so the best revenge is putting it in the back of the net, which Schwaller cannot do here as College makes the save.
College read her all the way, stayed right on top of her, got outside and got that basket up. Nice job. Yeah, I don't think I was ready to see this type of a dominating performance.
Neither was I. Neither were either of these coaches. They thought it would be a matter of inches, and you and I talked about the fact that we expected a real nip and tuck affair, and it was anything but. Robbinsdale Armstrong got 2 goals in the first 50 seconds, courtesy of Sydney Smith, and it has literally been all Trojans since.
Yeah, it's interesting getting on a roll like this just at the right time. I mean, this is, you're out if you lose, but the way they're playing right now, they've reached another plateau that maybe they can get up and give BSM a good run for their money, if not outright beat them. It would be an upset, but from the looks of it now, it wouldn't be that big a one because they're playing really good.
Well, and BSM only beat Blake 12-8. And Blake's the 4 seed or 5 seed in this section, so not unheard of. Wayzata has played BSM once, so you wonder if the intimidation factor will be less. But certainly that should be a good game, as Sydney Smith has shooting space, looking for her 42nd goal of the season. In the 8-meter mark, and she shoots it wide.
Now, there's the other key. If Noss can stay hot,
yes,
that could be a big run.
Ganos has to continue to make big saves in the net, because Benilde will certainly put the Wayzata defense to the test. Great outlet pass finds its way to Swanson, and again score. Up ahead for Lindahl. And who else on the doorstep? This time College makes a good save.
Nice play. She hasn't given up. She's staying in there right now.
Off the restart here, and again, a good save made. And then in transition, on the other end, a nice save. She went down and then popped up and made the stop. Inside of a minute to go here. Trojans will play Wednesday afternoon in St. Louis Park against the Red Knights, the top seed in Benilde St. Margaret's.
Well, as we mentioned earlier in the game, Benilde St. Margaret's beat Wayzata 13-6 first time, but I don't think that's going to be the same score this time around.
Yeah, you'd expect a closer game this time around. Armstrong continues to possess, fed out in front with 10 seconds left. Time will expire here. Wayzata comes on the road to Robbinsdale and thoroughly dominates from pillar to post. They give up 2 goals in the first minute and then rattle off 8 straight. They score 15 of the next 16 goals in the game, and they thoroughly deserve the trip to the Section 5 final against Benilde St. Margaret. Dan Ficken, mightily impressive tonight from Wayzata.
Whoa, look out, ladies and gentlemen. There's a blue and gold shadow coming up out of the west here, and we'll see what happens. They looked absolutely dominant, balanced, well played, got good goaltending. Their top 3 scorers showed up. If that continues, that's going to be a heck of a title game.
It sure will, and should be a good one. Wednesday at 4:30 in St. Louis Park. And it'll be the 3 seed against the top seed for the Section 5 title. So that'll do it for us from here in Robbinsdale from the Falcons' Nest. For Director Isaac Rice and my colorman Dan Ficken, I'm Bill Hupp saying good night Wayzata earns a trip to the Section 5A final in girls lacrosse with a dominant 15-3 win over Armstrong. Thanks for watching this presentation of high school sports on CCX.